Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss nerve impulse conduction, and it is an important process in the body that carried various information and signaling in the body and coordinate body movement. Okay, so it is important process. Okay, so today we have to discuss how the nerve impulse conduction is to take place in the body. These are the learning objective of Tutor lecture. So after completing a discussion, student able to understand about various types of ion channel that involve in the conduction of nerve impulse and resting membrane potential, how the resting membrane potential established in the nerve cell, okay, during the resting phase, okay, and what is the graded potential and how the conduction of nerve impulse take place in the neuron or nerve cell. So first of all, we need to understand uh, a general discussion about neuron. Okay, so neurons are the nerve cells, okay, which are electrically excitable. Okay.
सर आपकी आवाज क्लियर नहीं आ रही है.
Okay, I think network problem to your side. Okay, so check your network. Okay, because the other student has no problem. Okay, so check your internet connection. So they communicate each other using two types of electrical signal. Okay, so these two types of electrical signal include graded potential, okay, and the graded potential particularly used for a short distance communication. Okay, so when we talk about the communication for a short distance, okay, so at that time the graded potential is sufficient to conduct a nerve impulse for a short distance. Okay, while if we talk about the nerve impulse conduction for a long distance, okay, so that time the action potential is essential to establish. Okay, so that's why it is action potential is used for the long distance communication. Okay, so the production of graded potential and they depend on the features of cell, okay, like plasma membrane of excitable cell, okay, and existence of resting membrane potential, uh, and presence of specific ion channel. Okay, so so these are the some factor on which the action potential or nerve impulse conduction is take place. Okay, so we have to discuss that what are the types of an ion channel that involve in the nerve impulse conduction. Okay, so these are the four types of ion channel is there. The leakage or non-gated ion channel. Okay, so these are the channel which are leakage type. Okay, and are always open. Okay, and nerve cell have more potassium ion channel than sodium leakage ion channel. Okay, so it is clear that at the same time the high number of potassium ion cross the membrane, okay, as compared to the sodium ion. The sodium ion channel is less in number, so it is clear that the less number of sodium ion can cross the membrane. Okay, so you think about that. When there is a difference in the number of potassium and sodium ion channel, okay, so the transfer of potassium ion and sodium ion is not equal. Okay, so this unequal this created unequal concentration around the membrane. Okay, with respect to potassium ion and sodium ion. Okay, and this lead to a uh, a resting membrane potential. Okay, this leads to a establishment of resting membrane potential because the number of potassium leakage channel and number of potassium sodium leakage channel are in different in number. Okay, and there are more potassium leakage ion channel and less number of sodium leakage ion channel. Okay, so as a result, membrane permeability to potassium ion is higher. Okay, as compared to the sodium ion. Correct. So, this phenomena explain resulting membrane potential of nerve tissue. Okay, or the resulting membrane potential due to the difference in the number of sodium or potassium leakage ion channel. Okay, is minus 70 millivolt. Okay, so this minus 70 millivolt is the resting membrane potential, the potential of nerve impulse at resting phase. Okay, so at resting phase there is no nerve impulse is conduction is there, but still there is potential difference is there. Okay, and the second types of ion channel is ligand gated ion channel. Okay, so as the name suggests, ligand gated ion channel open or close in response to the stimulus. Okay, okay, and the in response to the stimulus certain ligand are secreted. Okay, and these ligand are binding with the ligand gated ion channel. Okay, so at that time, these ion channel are open. Okay, so these ion channel open or close in response to the stimulus. Okay, when the certain ligand are bind with them. Okay, so that's why the name is ligand gated ion channel. Okay, so why ligand gated? Like in case of acetylcholine receptor. Okay, so these acetylcholine receptor open when the acetylcholine bind with the acetylcholine receptor. Okay, so this is the example or good example of ligand gated ion channel. Okay, which open or close in response to the stimulus or when the certain ligand bind with the with these ion channel. Okay, and the third types of ion channel is voltage gated ion channel. Okay, so these voltage gated ion channel open or close in response to the change in the membrane potential. Okay, as you have to see that the resting membrane potential is minus 70, but if there is sudden changes in these resting membrane potential, so it leads to the open of voltage gated sodium channel, voltage gated potassium channel. Okay, so in response to the change in the membrane potential by the due to the any stimulus. Okay, and due to the threshold stimulus. Okay, so that's why here we use term voltage gated ion channel because it open or close in response to the change in membrane potential. And another one is mechanically gated ion channel. Okay, so as the name suggests, it open or close in response to the mechanical vibration or pressure. Okay, so if there is any change in the mechanical force or any change in the pressure. Okay, so it open or close in response to these mechanical vibration or pressure. Okay, so this is called mechanically gated ion channel. Okay, so these are the four types of ion channel. Okay, so you can discuss with me if you have any query regarding the types of ion channel. And now what is resting membrane potential? Okay, so as we have to discuss that the potential of nerve cell at resting phase is called resting membrane potential. Okay, so the resting membrane potential or RMP is the cell membrane of a non-conduction or a resting phase. Okay, so when there is no nerve conduction is there. Okay, when there is no stimulus is there, no threshold stimulus is there. So at that time and at all the time when there is no number pulse conduction, the membrane still has potential, and this potential is around minus 70 millivolt. Okay, so the difference in charge on the both side of membrane is called resting membrane potential. Okay, because why this would happen in the around the membrane, because the number of leakage gated ion channel and number of potassium or sodium leakage gated ion channel are different in number, and the neuron cell has a high number of potassium leakage ion channel and less number of sodium leakage ion channel. So obviously, when there is less gate for sodium ion transport and large number of gate for potassium ion transport. Okay, so large number of ion can move around the cell around the neuron and the neuron membrane. Okay, so that's why it create a slight difference along the membrane. Okay, and this membrane potential is around -70 millivolt, and negative ion along inside of cell membrane and positive ion along outside the cell membrane. Okay, so generally there is number of potassium. Okay, potassium or number of positive charge. Okay, is a difference. Okay, so when we calculate the resultant membrane potential, okay, so it would be equal to the -70 millivolt. Okay, so that's why we use term polarized. Okay, so the nerve cell always in polarized state. Okay, so nerve cell is always in polarized state. Okay. So resting potential exists because concentration of ion different inside and outside are different. Okay, and extracellular fluid. Okay, extracellular fluid means the fluid which present outside the cell membrane. Okay, so the extracellular fluid rich in sodium ion, okay, and chloride ion, okay, and cytosol full of potassium ion, okay, along with organic phosphate and amino acid. Okay, so the main ion at extracellular fluid is sodium, and intracellular means in the cytoplasm the potassium ion is in high concentration. So membrane permeability differ for sodium ion and potassium ion. Okay, how much difference of the permeability of sodium and potassium? So the membrane has 50 to 100 times more permeability for potassium ion. Okay, so that's why because the extracellular fluid has sodium ion, so inward flow of sodium ion is there due to the presence of sodium leakage ion channel, and outward flow of potassium ion due to the presence of leakage potassium ion channel. Okay, so the point is that the inward flow of sodium ion can't keep up with outward flow of potassium ion. Okay, because the membrane has a high permeability for potassium, not sodium, because the potassium leakage ion channel is in high in number as compared to the sodium leakage ion channel. Okay, so it create a difference. Okay, between the charge around the membrane. Okay, so sodium potassium pump remove sodium ion as fast as it leaking. Okay, so another process is there when the sodium ion leak in. Okay, so at the same time the sodium potassium pump leak out. Okay, uh, uh, to potassium ion. Okay, so this is another point. The less number of leakage sodium leakage channel is there, and less number of inward flow of sodium ion is there. But on the other hand, the sodium potassium pump remove as fast as it leak in. Okay, so obviously it create a difference of charge around the membrane. Okay, now graded potential. Okay, so a small deviation from resting membrane potential, that is a small deviation from the -70 millivolt. Okay, the hyper polarization or depolarization is take place. Okay, so what is hyperpolarization? Membrane has become more negative. Okay, and what is depolarization? Membrane has become more positive. Okay, so this is depolarization. and the signal are graded. Okay, so what it means for graded? So they vary in amplitude. Okay, so some of the signal has high amplitude, and some of the signal has low amplitude. Okay, so they vary in their strength. That's why here the term use graded. Okay, so the signal are graded. That means the it vary in amplitude, that is size, depending on the strength of the stimulus. On and these graded potential are localized. It can use for a short distance communication. So gradient potential occur most often in the dendrites and cell body of neuron. Okay, not axon. Okay, so dendrites or cell body it occur. Okay, and it can transfer nerve impulse only for a short distance. Okay. So the important part of discussion is grade is graded potential. Okay, so this is important part of discussion. Yes. So, extra potential of equals the sequence of repeating events that decrease and eventually reverse the measured potential and then restore it to the resting state. So, this process, okay, is generate action potential. Okay, which process? Depolarization, repolarization, hyperpolarization, then again racing phase. Okay, so an action potential or impulse is a sequence of rapidly occurring events that decrease and eventually reverse the membrane potential, that is depolarization, and then restore it to the resting phase, that is repolarization. Okay, so what happened in this process? This is very important phase. Okay, we need to understand how this would happen and how the action potential has to be generated. Okay, so it is clear that the action potential generated when the nerve impulse conduction is take place. Okay, so nerve impulse conduction means the action potential is generated. Okay, so both are correlated things. If there is nerve action potential is generated, it means the nerve impulse conduction is take place. Okay, if we say that the nerve impulse conduction is take place, so it means definitely in the nerve impulse the action potential is generated. Okay, so without action potential generation, the nerve impulse cannot be conduct. Okay, so this is the point. So how this generate, or how the neuron cell generate action potential. Okay, so what happened during an action potential, voltage gated sodium and potassium channel open in a sequence. Okay, so this is the first point. So voltage gated. Okay, now there is no role of leakage gated ion channel. Okay, the role of this type of ion channel, voltage gated ion channel. Okay, so as we discussed that voltage gated ion channel open in response to the change in the extra potential. Okay, so why this change is happen? Due to the threshold potential. Okay, so if there is a potential or the minimum potential which can able to generate action potential is called threshold potential. Okay, so due to the threshold potential, there is change in the action potential is there, and this change activate the voltage gated sodium channel and voltage gated potassium channel. But these voltage gated sodium channel and voltage gated potassium channel are not open at the same time. Okay, it open sequentially. First voltage gated sodium channel are open, and then potassium voltage gated potassium channel are open. Okay, so it the coordinating open opening of the voltage gated sodium channel and voltage gated potassium channel are results in the generation of action potential. Okay, so according to here, the all or none rule applied. Okay, so according to the all or none rule, if a stimulus reaches threshold level, okay, So it is very important. The stimulus reaches at threshold level. Okay, if stimulus cannot cross the threshold level, okay, so action potential is not generated. Okay, so the first barrier is that the action the threshold level must be reached. Okay, so according to all or none rule, if a stimulus reaches threshold level, the action potential is always the same. Okay, it doesn't mean the higher the stimulus, the higher amplitude of action potential, lower the stimulus, the lower amplitude or size of the action potential. It doesn't mean that. Okay, so apart from strong or weak stimulus, the if it cross the threshold level, so action potential is always has same amplitude or same size. Okay, so a stronger stimulus will not cause a larger impulse and will not cause a higher degree of action potential. Okay, so it doesn't mean that any strong, weak, any stimulus, but if it crosses the threshold level, the depolarization phase is start in the action for the generation of action potential. Okay? At the next phase, so the transmission of the impulse and action potential due to movement of ion across the nervous cell. Okay, so it is clear that if there is a movement of ion is there, okay, the flow of potassium ion, the flow of sodium ion is there. Okay, so at that time the action potential is generated. Okay, if there is no flow of ion across the membrane, so there is no generation of action potential is there. Okay, so it is essential that transmission of nerve impulse or conduction of nerve impulse and action potential only due to the movement of potassium ion, movement of sodium ion across the nerve cell membrane, and in the resting state, the nerve cell membrane is polarized due to different concentration of ion across the plasma membrane. Okay, at this point you already know that at resting phase the nerve cell membrane is polarized. Okay, and due to different concentration of ion across the plasma membrane. Okay, and this condition you all you know very well that this condition is called restrict membrane potential. So what would happen at the resting phase is in the diagram you can see that there is uh, sodium is the main extracellular cation. Okay, and potassium is main intercellular cation. Okay, but membrane has less number of sodium leakage gated sodium channel and high number of leakage gated potassium channel. Okay, so apart from any impulse, any threshold potential, any stimulus. Okay, the movement of ion through the leakage gated ion channel is continuous flow is there. Okay, so what happened? The sodium ion moved outside. Okay, due to the presence of leakage gated ion channel, and sodium ion leak in due to the presence of sodium leakage gated sodium ion channel. Okay, but as we have already discussed that the potassium ion channel is high in number, so at the same time a large number of potassium ion move outside. Okay, as compared to the sodium ion leak in. Okay, and apart from that the sodium potassium pump continuously remove sodium ion from intercellular to extracellular matrix. Okay, and the leak in of sodium ion can't keep up with removal of sodium ion from intercellular matrix or cytoplasm by the sodium potassium pump. Okay, so this create a difference in the potential around the nerve cell membrane. Okay, ultimately it established a membrane potential that is minus 70 millivolt, which is called resting membrane potential. Now what happened when the stimulus is there, when the stimulated, when the neuron stimulated, the permeability of nerve cell membrane to the ion change. Okay, so this is the point. Okay, so why the permeability of ion change? Because now when there is a stimulus is there, okay, so due to the stimulus, okay, the permeability of nerve cell membrane is changed. Okay, and what happened at that time, the sodium flowed into neuron from extracellular fluid, causing a depolarization. Okay, so this is the point. Okay, okay, so this create okay, so at that time the voltage gated sodium ion channel are open, and due to this additional type of ion channel opening, the large number of sodium leak in. Okay, and this create a depolarizing phase. This created depolarizing phase, and depolarization is very different because a large flux of sodium ion leak in due to the opening of voltage gated sodium ion channel in response to the stimulus, and it passes from the point of stimulus in one direction only, away from the point toward the area of resting membrane potential. Okay, so it is very fast process. Okay, so this figure clearly shown that how what happened. Okay, at the action membrane potential. As you have to see that this is minus 70. Okay, when there is no stimulus is there, the membrane has always minus 70 resting membrane potential. This one. Okay. When the membrane receive stimulus which cross threshold level, that means which has potential to decrease increase membrane potential from minus 70 to minus 55. Okay, so if such strong a stimulus is there, okay, it induce a opening of sodium ion channel. Okay, so what happened that at this point, okay, you have to see this color one, this color, the resting membrane potential voltage gated sodium channel are in the resting state. Okay, at this point, and voltage gated potassium channel are closed. Okay, so there is no flow of sodium or either potassium from the voltage gated ion channel. Okay, now what happens when stimulus cause a depolarization to threshold level? This one. Okay, at this phase. Okay, so at this phase, stimulus is there, which change the membrane potential to minus 70 to minus 55. Okay, so this minimum level of threshold stimulus is required to initiate or generate action potential. Okay, so now what happened? See this color. Okay, so a voltage, now voltage gated sodium channel activation gate are open. Okay, so now the voltage gated sodium channel activation gate out and the sodium flow in begins. Okay, and start. So it leads to a depolarizing phase, and the depolarization is take place. Okay, when the stimulus is reached at minus 55. Okay, and now what happened? Now when it reach up to this level, plus 30 level, when the membrane potential reach plus 30 level, so at that time the voltage gated potassium channel are open at this side. When the stimulus, when the membrane potential reach plus 30, the voltage gated potassium channel are open. Okay, and sodium channel are inactivated. Okay, so what happened? So the sodium leak out. Okay, sodium leak out, and it again decrease the membrane potential of the neuron. Okay, now at this phase, it up to this region. Okay, you have to see that color, pink color to this region. Now what happened? The voltage gated potassium channel are still open. Okay, so that's why the memory potential cannot stop at minus 70. Okay, so because the potassium channel, voltage gated potassium channel are still open, so the potassium leak out is continuously there. That's why the membrane potassium reach up to minus 90 at that point, and this is called hyperpolarizing phase. And what happened at the next phase? The voltage gated potassium channel are still open at this phase, and sodium channel are in resting state. Okay, when the sodium channel are in resting stage, okay, so it create a again, or it establish a again, uh, a resting membrane potential. Okay, so this is the whole process how the action potential established in a nerve cell. Okay, so what happened? So during this process, potassium flowed out of the neuron cell. Okay, uh, when during the depolarization. Okay, so depolarization result because inward diffusion of sodium is much greater than outward diffusion of potassium. Okay, because the voltage gated sodium channel are open in response to the stimulus. Okay, now now a chemical or mechanical stimulus cause a graded potential to reach minus 55 millivolt, okay, which is called threshold potential or threshold membrane potential. And now voltage gated sodium channel open, and sodium rushed into the cell very fast speed, and in resting membrane, inactivation gate of sodium channel is open, okay, and activation gate is closed. Okay, so when inactivation gate of sodium channel open, the sodium cannot get in. Okay, and that's why when the threshold limit minus 55 millivolt is reached, both open sodium, okay, both open, okay, and sodium enters into the neuron, and inactivation get closed again in a few 10,000 of second. Okay, so there are three stages: the resting, the closed stage, okay, inactivation stage, or activation stage. Okay, so only a total of 20,000 sodium ion actually enter the cell, but they change the membrane potential up to plus 30 millivolt. Okay, and this whole process has positive feedback process. Okay, that's why it increase the membrane potential is very quickly. And what happened during the repolarization is we have to discuss in the figure. The voltage gated sodium channel are closed, and voltage gated potassium channel are open. Okay, so that's why the membrane potential again start decreasing, and sodium ion diffuse into the cell stop. Okay, due to the closing of voltage gated sodium channel, and potassium channel potassium diffuse out of the cell, because the potassium channel voltage gated potassium channel are now open. That cause repolarization. Okay, and resting membrane potential is again established after the voltage gated potassium channel are closed. Okay, so when it reach up to the minus 90 at hyperpolarizing phase, the voltage gated potassium ion is closed. So when the threshold potential of okay, so this figure we have to already discuss. Okay, so this is resting membrane potential. This is stimulus. Okay, this is threshold potential. This is depolarization phase, and this is repolarizing phase. This is hyperpolarizing phase. Okay, so this one when the stimulus reach minus 70 to plus 30, this is called generation of action potential. Okay, so this process is called generation of action potential, which is essential for conduction of nerve impulse. Okay, now the cell again enter into the resting phase. Okay, so how many phases there? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Okay, so the seventh phase is there. Okay, which controlled by the voltage gated sodium channel and voltage gated potassium channel. Okay, and their sequential opening and closing of voltage gated sodium channel and voltage gated potassium channel. Okay, so now the next point is what is the refractory period. Okay, so the refractory period is the period of time after an action potential begin, during which an exciting cell cannot generate an action potential is called refractory period. Okay, so in between when the action potential is generated, so there is no possibility that the another stimulus can generate another action potential before it enter into the resting phase. Okay, so this period is called a refractory period, and the second potential cannot be initiated even with a very strong stimulus. Okay, so this period is called a refractory period. Okay. Now, even very strong stimulus will not begin another action potential because inactivated sodium channel must return to its resting state before they enter into the next phase of generating of action potential. And large fiber have absolutely a refractive period of zero point 0.4 millisecond. Okay, and up to 1000 impulse per second are possible. Okay, and another period is called a relative refractive period. So this period is a supra threshold stimulus will be able to start an action potential. Okay, so only that period, okay, relative refractive period, when a supra threshold stimulus will be able to start an action potential. Okay, so this period is called relative refractive period. Okay, so at which period this would happen? When the potassium channel are still open but sodium channel have closed. Okay? So when the potassium channel are still open, it is possible that the super threshold stimulus can able to start a new action potential, okay, before enter into the resting phase. Okay, so this period is called relative refracting period. And another term you must understand that continuous versus saltatory conduction. So the continuous conduction means if there is unmyelinated fiber is there. Okay, so in unmyelinated fiber, there is step-by-step depolarization of each portion of the length of the axonema. Okay, so this is called continuous conduction, which is take place in the unmyelinated fiber. Okay, so each portion has create action potential. Okay, and another type of potential is saltatory conduction. So this occur in myelinated fiber, which has node of Renvire. So depolarization take place only at node of Renvire, not the whole nerve cell, where there is a high density of voltage gated ion channel are present. Okay, and current carried by ion flow through extracellular fluid from node to node. Okay, so the nerve impulse conduction by the saltatory conduction is fast as compared to the unmyelinated fiber or continuous conduction. Okay, so this you have to clear in this diagram. You have to see that at the same time when there is unmyelinated fiber, the nerve impulse conduct uh, within 10 seconds only up to this length. Okay, this starting point, this last point, within 10 seconds, 10 milliseconds, only this distance covered by the nerve impulse conduction. You can see that when there is a myelinated fiber is there, so nerve impulse conduct through node to node. Okay, that's why within the same time, the nerve impulse conduct uh, for this distance. Okay, this distance is large distance as compared to this one. Okay, so it is clear that the saltatory conduction is fast as compared to the continuous conduction. Okay, so there are certain factors also affect speed of propagation apart from the myelination. So okay, so myelination we already discussed that affect the speed of nerve impulse conduction, while the axon diameter also affect the nerve impulse conduction. Okay, so so that's why the and the temperature also affect the nerve impulse conduction. Okay, so the larger myelinated fiber conduct impulse faster due to the size and saltatory conduction. Okay, and on that basis, okay, the fibers are three type. Okay, the largest fiber, medium fiber, and smallest fiber. Okay, so largest fiber has a size up to 20 micron and has a speed 130 meter per second. Okay, these are the myelinated somatic sensory and motor to skeletal muscle. Okay, and sensory neuron associated with touch, pressure, position of joints, and some thermal sensation has largest fiber, and motor neuron conduct impulse to skeletal muscles also has largest fiber, and second type of fiber is a medium fiber, and these are the myelinated visceral sensory and autonomic preganglionic fiber is medium fiber, and sensory nerve impulse from viscera to brain and spinal cord conduct through the medium fiber, and also constitute all axon of autonomic motor neuron that extend from the brain and spinal cord to the autonomic nervous system. The relay station called autonomic ganglia also has medium fiber, and there are third type of fiber is smallest fiber. These are the unmodulated sensory and autonomic motor fiber has smallest fiber, and smallest fiber conduct sensory impulse for pain, touch, pressure, heat, cold from the skin, and pain from the viscera. Okay, and it has autonomic motor fiber that extend from autonomic ganglia to the heart, smooth muscle and glands, and are also fiber smallest fiber. Okay, and where these fiber are present, the motor function of B type and C type fiber are constricting and dilating the pupils and increasing and decreasing heart rate, and contracting and relaxing the urinary bladder. Okay, so these are the three types of fiber. Okay, and the nerve impulse also conduct at the site of neuromuscular junction. Okay, so you can see that apart from neuromuscular junction, there is nerve impulse conduct from one neuron to the another neuron. Okay, so this is called there is a small gap between the two neurons. Okay, this one is pre-synaptic neuron, and this one is post-synaptic neuron. Okay, so there is a gap between the pre and post-synaptic neuron, and this gap is called synapse. Okay, and this process we have to explain in the in I think in previous lecture we already explained. Okay, so so, so you can see that lecture. Okay. The synapse is the site of communication between two neurons or between neuron and effector cell. Okay, it's called synapse. Okay, it present between the two neurons and either at the neuromuscular junction or the neuron and muscle junction and neuron and gland junction. Okay, so the tip of some axon terminal swell into valve-shaped structure called synaptic end valve, and the synaptic end valve contain many tiny membrane enclosed sac, which is called synaptic vesicles, that store a chemical called neurotransmitter. Okay, so neuron sending the signal is called the presynaptic neuron, and the neuron which receive the signal is called postsynaptic neuron. Okay, so it is very clear there. And there are two types of synapses present: electrical synapse or chemical synapse. Okay? So electrical synapse means the action potential conduct directly between adjacent cell through structure called gap junction. Okay, so this is called electrical synapse where there is gap junction is present. Okay, or another is chemical synapse where is the neurotransmitter is released that help to conduct nerve impulse from presynaptic neuron to the postsynaptic neuron. That is called chemical synapse. Okay, this we have to discuss in the next lecture. So gap junction is this type. Okay, which conduct which is it comes under the category electrical synapse. Okay, there is no neurotransmitter is released between the gap that present in the gap junction. Okay, so this is the structure of gap junction. Okay, where there is special protein is present. This is called monogenes. Okay, and the communication of cell within the tissue takes place by the gap junction. Okay, and iron, nutrients, waste, chemical, and electrical signal travel through the collagens from one cell to the another. Okay, so this is reference book. Now we have to attempt quiz. So the first question is the excitatory transmission. The neurotransmitter receptor reaction on the postsynaptic membrane depolarize the membrane and initiate reaction potential, and the depolarizing phase of the nerve impulse open. Okay. So obviously when the depolarizing phase has to be start, voltage gated sodium channel are open. Okay. So the option D is correct. So for inhibitory transmission, hyperpolarization the membrane and make it more difficult to generate any extra potential and reaction between the neurotransmitter with the receptor open. Okay, so definitely when the hyperpolarization is there, okay, so at that time voltage gated potential channel are open. Okay, C. So C is correct option. So the potential used for short distance communication is called graded potential. And the potential used for the long distance communication is called action potential. Okay. And why membrane permeability to potassium ion is higher, leads to maintain resting membrane potential to minus 70 millivolt because more potassium leakage channel as compared to the sodium leakage channel. So then the option is correct. And membrane of neuron has become more negative is while the hyperpolarization is there and there is membrane potential is minus 90 millivolt. Okay, so option A is correct. So the period of time after an extra potential begins during which the excitable cell cannot generate any extra potential is called refractory period. So option A is correct. And depolarization only at node of N wire where there is a high density of voltage gated ion channel is there. So this is called saltated conduction. When there is no node of N wire and the continuous conduction is there. Okay, so in the non-myelinated fiber, the continuous conduction is take place. So option A is correct. So, which statements is correct regarding the speed of nerve impulse? Okay. So, larger myelinated fiber conduct impulse faster due to the size and saltating conduction. So, option A is correct. And the site of communication between two neuron or between neuron and effector is called synapse. Okay. So, we already discussed that the synapse is the gap between the neuron and neuron to muscle and neuron to glands. So, thank you everyone.